What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Draymond, and welcome to Thorium Gaming. So you're going to notice we're not playing Fallout today. Today, instead, we are sitting down with a member of the 232, Chaplin Grimuldus, and we're going to be playing some StarCraft 2. How's it going, Chaplin?
How are you doing today?
Well, aside from being a little bit wasted from a wedding, I'm great. And how about you?
Pretty good, just relaxing, being bored on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. What do we all typically do on Sunday afternoons? We sit down and game. So we're going to jump into a few co-op missions. Well, Grimuldus is going to jump into the co-op missions. I'm going to try not to screw up his plans. Because as
Yeah,
good as I like to think I am at StarCraft, I'm not.
we're still getting used to the mode.
Kinda, sorta. Now, it's not actually letting me click ready here.
Are you tabbed back in? That's always the first question.
Yes, I'm actually tabbed back in. As you can see, I'm changing which commander I'm going to be. I'm going to be trying to play Raynor. Not very well, but I'm going to try. I have an information mode about custom battles, but that's about it. So,
Oh, my apologies, wrong mode.
oh, there we
That
go.
was my bad.
Alright, so now we're going to jump
Okay,
in.
custom.
I'm going to be playing the Terrans, because I share a similar body art to James Raynor. And looks like you're playing who?
Artanis, he's a leader of the Thorium, or the Daily Protoss.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm playing a race that I'm okay with, and he's playing a race that I'm absolutely shit at. Well,
Language.
yes, I know, I'm bad. But we're just going to jump in, have a little bit of fun playing around in StarCraft 2. For those of you who haven't picked up Wings of Liberty or any of the other games in the series yet, highly recommend it. How many hours have you dumped into StarCraft 2 so far, Grimuldus?
Um, Maybe about 100 or 200, I think.
Yeah,
Something along
I
those
dropped
lines.
about the same into the campaign mode alone. I mean, satisfying story, well written, and it kind of tied up some of the loose ends from the end of Brood War. And anybody who's ever played StarCraft 1 and Brood War has lost summers of their lifetime to it. So we have to kill Void Thrashers and defend Sergeant Hammer's fortress. I think the last time that you and I sat down at this, we absolutely failed horribly.
Sounds almost about right. I know I was playing one of the other characters where I'm just not good with timing. Like some of the timing missions I just don't pay attention on.
Well, we all have our little quips and foibles. For me, I'd still build in the same order as StarCraft 1, forgetting that StarCraft 2 has a different starting mechanic for it.
hmm Yeah, I mean, it's still taking the time to like learn and appreciate the differences because I know in StarCraft 1, I forgot about the only 8 hero unit selection or 10 unit selection you can have there. That
Yeah,
always pissed me off and I forgot about it.
and they extended that to multiple tabs in this, which gives you a little bit more variation in the army groups that you can form. A little bit a little bit less button mashing. Yes,
There's
guys,
still
it's going to be
button
full of
mashing.
that. I'm going to be screwing up my language all day today.
You can blame yesterday for that probably.
Only so much.
I know yesterday I had 2 cans of Mike's Hard Lemonade. That was fun.
Well, everybody needs to let off a little bit of steam now and then, right?
hmm What I usually do for build order is 2 workers and then supply depot and then continue trying to get at least the 21 crystals done first, which I feel like is everybody's main starting point.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, for me, I'm the old school infantry style, and screw up a fair bit, but as long as you're having fun, right?
Of course. Right now I could care less about winning the game. I'm just more of trying to level up the rest of the characters that I have. I think there's like 15 commanders I have, all but 4 maxed out.
That's quite an achievement given how much time you have to invest in each commander just to level them up.
Of course. I'm actually getting quite bored of it right now at the moment just because of the fact that all the different variations of commanders you have to go through and play and stuff. It's fun though.
And that's really the whole goal of gaming in general, is to have fun.
Hmm.
But again, thank you for coming on and joining me with this. I mean, you've been one of the first members of the 232, which I can't thank you enough for. And it's fun to sit down and, interact with the people instead of just talking at them.
Of course. Always better to have people to game with and make jokes with compared to just sitting on the sideline through a chat room.
Yeah, this is true. I know some people, myself included actually, they have a lot of problems with social anxiety and everything. But guys, with gamer culture, it's entirely different from, quote, the real world, end quote. It's people who share our hobby, our passions. Just put yourself out there. Yeah, there are some toxic environments, but for the most part, you meet guys like the Chaplin here, who are pretty down to earth, cool, and can laugh at themselves. And like I try to keep saying, if you're laughing at me or with me, it doesn't matter. As long as you're laughing, you are having fun.
I usually end up laughing at myself quite a bit as well.
So it looks like your production facilities are doing a hell of a lot better than mine are right now.
Eh, not even. I'm barely... I have more Vespian than I do minerals.
Protoss are a little bit more reliant on Vespene gas than Terrans are, though. So, makes a little bit of sense.
Probably just a tad.
So in an effort for us to not get swamped, as soon as I have that 25 gas that I need, I'm going to start building the tech lab so I can get some fire bats and some marauders going. Yes, marauders, not devastators. Why I wanted to say devastators, I don't know.
Devastators, was that? I'm trying to remember the name. Oh, not even StarCraft, is it?
I don't think it is. I have no idea where I was going with that.
I mean, it happens. Everything has similar names nowadays.
Yeah, there's only so much creativity in the world. But we can always add to it.
Of course.
So, Chaplin, aside from StarCraft 2, which games do you end up enjoying?
A lot of the RTSs. Right now, I actually have an Xbox as well. I've been playing Destiny 2, Infinite Warfare. Fortnite is a fun one. It's getting a little tiring though, kind of repetitive for now. But it's expected, it's still in early access.
Well, as far as Destiny 2 goes, is it living up to the hype this time, or is it still a little overshadowed like the first one was?
I actually wasn't really that big of a fan in the first one. And I enjoy this one quite a bit, but the only downside for me is I'm not really playing with too many of my friends that I have on console, because they've all had more time in it than me, and so they don't really want to backtrack just to help me out with leveling. Other than that, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it.
Well, that's good to hear. I mean, I was tempted to try it out. A few of my friends have been trying to get me to go into Guild Wars 2's new expansion. It's been kind of one of those things where I don't have enough time to get all of them on board, but as long as you're having fun with it, right?
Of course. That should help with the Void Thrasher, by the way, with the solar bombardment.
I'm going to try and help us out a little bit, drop some Banshees on top of them, and see if that'll help slow it down a little bit.
Void Thrasher has been slain.
Yeah, seems like we did enough.
Take out those structures in the center there.
I'll clear your side base.
Right, that'll be fairly appreciated. I can start my second command center here pretty quick.
Sorry, I've been having different tunes stuck in my head all day.
Sounds like pretty standard for my life too. Get that song stuck in your head and you never get it out really.
Usually I'm pretty good about not getting stuff stuck in my head. Just depends on what type of music I listen to, I guess. Because like techno, for example, is more... You remember, like, if it has lyrics to it, you kind of remember the lyrics or the tempo of it.
Yeah, lately I've been hung up on a lot of David Guetta. I don't know why. I don't like Nicki Minaj when she's on her own, but when she mixes up with David Guetta, I absolutely love her voice. Does that make me more odd than usual, or just par for the course at this point?
Doesn't really make any... Like, if you enjoy an artist on the sound of the voice, it's fine. But, like, I get what you're saying, like, flying solo kind of, it's different. I mean, if you enjoy the music, power to you. That's the fun part about having opinions, and everybody has their own taste.
Not enough minerals.
Enemy forces detected. Prepare our defense.
If that made sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
I know we're probably both sidetracked right now, trying to build bases.
The joys of gaming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to have a conversation and stupid things like actually playing the game get in the way.
Of course. Usually how it happens. Let's see.
So, since I am playing as Raynor, I'm going with a mostly infantry-based force. With Artanis, are you sticking with the Zealots and Dragoons?
I usually, depending... With some of the Protoss, I usually go more of like Dark Templar, for example, with Vorzun. With Artanis, I usually go a little bit of everything. I usually do Observers from the Robotics Bay, and then sometimes the Immortals. Otherwise, I usually spawn Tempest in from my Stargate. Otherwise, I usually stick to... Yeah, I do usually stick to Dragoons and Zealots and High Templars.
Complete.
So you go with the typical Kala setup, High Templars and the light side of the Kala. I swear they based that off of Star Wars.
Most likely. With the High Templars, they actually have an upgrade for the Psionic Storm 1, and then there's the actual upgrade where you can recharge shields for Protoss.
Well, that'd be really, really helpful if you were playing as an Archon build.
Mm-hmm.
Stay frosty.
If they had that ability in Archon mode in multiplayer, which they don't. I don't think. That'll be a little overpowering.
Just a little bit. You could focus on the shields, since Archons have no health, really.
Heavy. Yeah. It's like 40 health and I think, what, 200 shields?
Something like that. They're definitely reliant on those shields.
Raiders, assume defensive positions.
Alright, just to drop us in a little bit of help, I'm going to summon the Hyperion in.
That's fun.
Raynor's command ship, commanded by Matt. His last name's Horner, isn't it?
Yep.
Poor guy who got married to a ghost without even knowing it.
Well, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, or what you've told me, he won it in a poker game, right?
The full story is a little bit more complicated than that, but essentially, yes. Hell of a way to start off your marriage vows.
Not enough minerals.
I mean, it's at least a fun way to start him.
Yeah, true enough. At least you won't be bored.
That's true. Let's see, we have that. No, building that one.
Our allies are being attacked.
And I can already hear the furious comments in the background. You don't use your hotkeys well. You don't do this well. I'm not a great StarCraft 2 player. Please don't flame me. Or do, as long as you're laughing.
Void Thrasher slain.
I don't use them either, really. I have hotkeys going for... I have 1 is my 2 Nexus points, and then 2 is my 6 Warp Gates, and I'll queue my Stargate and Robotics Bay, and I usually do upgrades along the way. I do that, then half the time I forget to use them.
Yeah, it just brings to mind the players in South Korea who are absolutely fantastic with their hotkeys.
Yeah, that pretty much I win almost every tournament, as far as I've heard and know from competitive.
I think it's the national sport in South Korea right now.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Well, they do pump out some really good players, so if any of you guys are from South Korea, props. Aside from that, though, I am envious of your skill. Very, very envious of your skill.
Yeah, that's right, I just got that upgrade.
I'm just glad that the multiplayer modes overall brought back some of my favorite units from the single-player campaign that were staples within StarCraft 1. Don't get me wrong, the dropships were cool and all, I just missed my medics.
Mm-hmm. Like, it would have been cool to have, like, both variants kind of thing, where it's not locked behind campaign missions.
It really would. I do miss some of the aspects of the original. My favorite tactic to cloak a ghost, put it in a dropship, and then drop that ghost in the middle of an enemy base amidst a swarm of marines still
Mm-hmm. They couldn't
works.
tell. Yeah, easily. I'm moving to the other side. Let's see.
Our allies are being attacked.
Fortress is under fire. If anyone wants to go and kill a void thrasher, I'd be much obliged.
Ready yourself. We must ensure its survival.
Alright, my marines should almost be there to back you up.
It's all good.
Our allies are being attacked.
And now I've got additional forces coming in to give us some help.
The fortress is under some pretty heavy fire. We gotta take these void thrashers down pronto.
My solar bombardment's almost ready.
I can drop in a Banshee airstrike whenever we need it, which actually right now isn't too bad of an idea.
Just to do some area damage before they get blown up.
Focus on those pylons, knock out the power.
Yeah.
And for anyone who hasn't actually played StarCraft yet, the Protoss rely on these pylons to power all of their structures. You knock them out, and all of a sudden the turrets go offline.
If you want to show them what one looks like.
So these crystals right here.
Templar, prepare to intercept.
So these power everything around them, which is why you can see them interdispersed amongst Chaplin Grimuldus' buildings. They create an area of power, much like you saw with that grid that was right here. I believe he's got his grid here now. He can warp in extra units to it, but each pylon provides that area of power, so any buildings the Protoss want to use have to be within the area of power. They also give the Protoss supply, much like my supply depots, these buildings I've put underground over here.
I'm gonna rebuild my guys really fast. I'm losing them pretty badly.
A void thrasher has been destroyed.
I can finish taking this out, so
It's fine. I'll come... I was just getting a couple seconds of downtime to just try to see if I can build up my economy a little bit better.
definitely makes sense, because you're the one that's bearing the brunt of keeping us alive here.
So, you know, that seems bad.
Not too bad.
Position's been marked. Let's keep that thing intact.
Void thrasher eliminated.
Do we want to go for that Archangel?
Yeah, usually you can, if you have enough just base damage, it can retreat him to the other side because he goes from here to where you were up over here. So unless you want me to just build a lot of like anti-air, because he's gonna pick off in a minute. Like if you start hitting him, he's gonna pick up and fly.
Alright, well I do have a Hyperion strike.
Commanders, show those thrashers who's boss. The rifts are opening. Won't be long before we gotta light up some
I'll
thrashers.
start moving towards mid.
Alright, I will
Protect
try
one
and
of those
deal
things.
with these, but it looks like I'm losing Marines at a prestigious rate. And I most definitely am losing these troops at a prestigious rate. I'm going to try and pull them back and reinforce.
Our allies are being attacked. Our allies are being attacked.
So now I should probably work on some of the upgrades. I haven't actually upgraded any of my troops yet. Probably why they're dying so badly.
Archangel is making a break.
I mean, I haven't upgraded my damage or my shields on any of my guys. I just had the abilities unlocked for them.
Well, we've got
He's flying over to
these.
the other side now.
We've got these 4 Void Thrashers here. I'm going to see if I can drop the Hyperion in and Yamato Cannon. Some of these pylons. See if we can take them out.
Thrashers ain't letting up.
You do that, I'm gonna pick up the other side really
Blowing
fast.
up real bad. Better take out some void thrashers.
Our allies are being attacked. Banshee.
Archangel's down.
Just goes to show, no piece of hardware is half as good as the pilot inside it.
Our allies are being attacked.
I'm coming in over the side over here.
Adversaries intend to eliminate us.
Alright, I just lost my entire forward attack force.
That's fine.
We got Reavers coming in with that attack wave, so we might have to take them out pretty quick. You guys are probably seeing a lot of locked icons on the buttons and stuff that I have available to me. Grimuldus has been playing for a lot longer than I have, and has unlocked pretty much every commander ability you can imagine, and I have not as of yet.
Will happen.
Banshees are incoming.
Base is under attack.
Trying to save my base over here really fast.
Okay, my Banshees are coming in to assist.
I was gonna say if you want to just send them into the main area. I got this one uncovered.
Time to drop that down to 0.
All right.
Call the ball.
Our
Alright, so I've got a
being
I'll try to have
decent
that
enough
ability.
number.
Cloaked units. We will need detection.
I can spawn detection. Don't worry about it.
No need, I've already got a command center with the upgrade. So I've got a sensor sweep on it there for you.
I also have an observer.
My fortress can't take much more punishment. You gotta do something about those thrashers.
Ready up. If that thing goes down, it's on us.
Shit. Apologies.
It's all good. Just don't focus on them.
our allies
The enemy is coming for us. Templar, ready your blades.
Looks like that attack is coming to my side.
our allies add-on attack complete.
Fortress is under
Try and knock down this carrier to prevent it from spawning those annoying little drones.
I mean, they're fun though.
Oh, they are.
2 thrashers left. Let's show 'em how to tango.
Base is under attack. Base is under attack.
I really hate those colossi.
I'd warp in or change my field down there, but I'd lose my grip that I have going on up here.
I just lost a lot of troops.
Upgrade complete. Our SCVs, our allies.
You might help. You need my help down there?
I might, but if you can focus on the thrashers, we are down to under 1,000 points for what's left on Hammer's fortress.
I have one almost dead.
I don't really mind if they blow up a couple of the production buildings. They're easy enough to restore.
That's it. One last void thrasher. Send that thing to hell.
Our SCVs are under
Hey,
attack.
the fortress is under attack.
The Templar will see to its protection.
Being attacked.
They are devastating my supply line, but thankfully I'm running mostly off of Marines, so it's not too big of a deal.
Base
As long as they're chewing on my base, they're not attacking your troops.
At least those ones aren't.
Our allies base is under attack. Base is under attack. Are being attacked.
Almost have my
I have dark
cooldowns
shields.
for Banshees and the Hyperion.
Is under attack.
Or Dark Templars.
Banshee airstrike.
Oh, no, they don't.
Banshees now.
Base is under attack. Our allies' base is under attack. Hyperion ready for deployment.
I'm trying to build up a little bit more of an army.
Loud and clear.
I'm going to try and do what we can here. Send the
I mean,
Hyperion down to
I got
deal
rid of the ship or the shield on it. I just needed to do quite a bit more damage. I also have another 19 seconds on my bombardment cooldown.
Well, the Hyperion's there now, and I doubt they'll be able to take down such a fine vessel before we kill that last Void
Ready up.
Thrasher.
If that thing goes down, it's on us.
Nice.
A void
We actually made it this time.
has been confirmed.
Victory! And we didn't get our faces stomped too badly.
Hell yeah, we
Well,
made it. Tell
you
We
didn't.
could have done. We could have done. Aren't we both?
by in the first
I tried to help you with it.
That's a promise.
I know you're being attacked pretty hard.
Well, compared to the abyssal failure of our first time,
That was a lot better. First time we had two more left before we failed. I think.
something along those lines. And I just unlocked 3 achievements and some point defense drones for the Hyperion.
Those are fun.
So what do you think? Do one more round to wrap up a video?
Whatever you want to do, that's fine.
Alright, well I played Terran the first time, so out of the heroes you know I have access to, pick one.
Let's see, you go from Raynor to Karax, right?
Yes.
I'd give Swan a try.
Alright, Swan it is.
He's pretty fun. He's a little slow, but...
So he's kind of like me.
Yeah, well, not too slow. He's a little bit slower than you.
Well, that's supreme confidence there. Appreciate that.
Oh, you said to make jabs. I tried to make a jab.
Oh yeah. Well, as long as we're having fun, right?
Of course.
You know, I gotta admit that when they started putting the female Protoss into the game, I was kind of worried they were gonna do the over-the-top, hypersexualized thing that you see in a lot of games. But I think it's actually really classy.
This one's not too bad. Of course, you have everybody in chat making jokes about it every so often, but I like them. They look very sci-fi-ish compared to like another sci-fi game where it's like you take a look at a human elf or like a warlock or whatever, and they all have like the same features. Where this one, it's like you can see the difference. If you look at a human, of course you could definitely tell the difference compared to a Protoss female.
Well, even the difference between the Khalite Protoss and the Dark Templar, there are stark differences in their aesthetic.
Of course. I hate this mission.
Oh right, I get a giant laser drill.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently little people running around.
You haven't done this one yet, have you?
I don't think we have.
You see the timer in the corner of the screen?
Yes, sir.
We have to complete the mission pretty much before that timer reaches 0. There's a way to... You'll see crystals will pop up. We have to collect those. So we have to get 20 of them in order to complete the mission.
And I'm guessing that's going to involve our supply units, our SCVs, or in your case, probes.
Yep. Our workers have to pick them up. Usually there's going to be a batch over here, batch down here, batch over here.
So for those of you who haven't gathered yet, Grimuldus knows his StarCraft 2 missions. Just saying.
I play this more than I actually play the multiplayer. I do remember I got to, I want to say gold 1v1s back in like 2013. In the actual like tournament ranked play.
It's definitely something to be proud of there, brother.
Mm-hmm. It was fun.
So yeah, I just found out I do not have access to the barracks of all things.
Nope, you're mainly tech. So Goliaths and Starport. What you could do, my favorite build to do is
Not enough.
Goliath, Mass, and then the space or science vessel. Like do like 1 to every 5 Goliaths or so, or 7 Goliaths. And then that usually helps with like healing, because they can heal mechanical units.
And it's left behind some crystals. The commanders will be trying to gather those before the lava sweeps them away.
This reminds me of the mission where there's the achievement Red Lobster.
You have to go into detail. I don't remember a lot of the story.
There was a Brutalisk. You had to... It was the first mission you got Reapers in Wings of Liberty.
Uh-huh.
And you had to jump over the lava flows as they rose and fell. And at the same time, there was an achievement to cook the Brutalisk in the lava that was called Red Lobster.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
This report from Terry, our seismologist, who says Seismic activity is increasing. That means lava, and it's coming soon.
Am I the only one out there who kind of wants to punch this reporter in the face?
No, I've wanted to punch him in the face a few times.
Ground is engulfed in molten rock and
Damn it.
fire. Enemies coming for our base. Thought you might want to know.
Our allies are being attacked.
I'm going.
Okay, I'm still working on some tech upgrades. I don't even have any offensive units yet, so
That's
I
fine.
think you're
neither
on your
do
own
I.
there, bud.
It's fine.
I do like the differing looks of the different branches of Dark Templar that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
The lava has receded once more, leaving both crystals and destruction in its wake.
Are being attacked.
SCV ready.
Our
Hopefully,
allies' base is
yeah, it's gonna be a little bit painful.
Trying to produce some Goliaths to get over there and help you.
That's fine.
Our allies' base is under attack.
As long as they're not attacking my main structures, I'm fine. I can actually drop a cloaking field.
Yo. SCV ready.
I'm getting Starship Trooper flashbacks right about now.
Just a tad.
Activating laser drill. 174 gigawatts. SCV ready.
There we go.
Attack our enemies while time is distorted.
That should help a little bit.
You know, Goliath's always reminded me of the Battletech universe and the fact that we haven't had a good MechWarrior game in a long time.
Nice.
Big job, huh?
Did you ever play any of the Battletech games?
I remember looking them up. I've had a few buddies that've played them. They were interesting.
My favorite so far has been Mech Commander and Mech Commander 2. They were incredibly fun games.
That's cool. It's always fun when you can enjoy a game with like a certain genre you like and stuff.
Nerazim, ignite your blades.
Alright, let's retry this in base building, right?
I have a few soldiers now. Well, soldiers in suits.
Lava surge is breaching the mantle. Terry, this is boring science stuff. I'm not reading.
I also have a black hole ability that I can summon.
3 minutes left. You can feel the tension is building. Here's the lava. Watch the low ground, viewers. That's where
They're gonna start
action
dropping in a
is.
minute, probably.
Base is under attack.
Your drill has a minimum effective range.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. But I have some backup in the form of your Dark Templar or Dark Zealots or whatever they are.
Centurion.
There we go. That's the word I was looking for.
You're fine. They're pretty much the same thing as the Zealot.
The lava surge is ending, viewers. But stay with us. I'm sure there's a lot more excitement to come.
So we are quickly running short on time here.
Are enemy
Yep,
forces
just a
about to
tad.
attack the commander's workers? Stay tuned to find out.
I'm trying to think of the list of stuff that I need to get done really fast.
I'm going to send some Goliaths to kind of secure this crystal and see if I can get it back to our base.
Out of orbit?
That's fine.
We're fine. Okay, good. We're still waiting for workers to collect a crystal
Yeah,
and put it
yeah.
to the stabilizer.
Still
Hopefully
hate 'em.
things
Ooh, I do get old school Wraiths. Not bad.
Those are fun. There's an ability up later when you upgrade them that they can dodge while cloaked. So they have a chance for attacks to miss them.
How about these Cyclones? I haven't actually seen them before.
Cyclones are okay from the command center or the factory, correct?
Yes.
They're okay. They can attack both ground and air, but they're a little bit better attacking ground. For the air attack, they have to have a lock-on ability used, and it kind of takes time to swap between lock-on and then normal mode. Alright,
How much time do we have before the...
2 minutes and 16 seconds.
I meant before the lava comes back up.
Oh, it's like every minute or so I think it rotates.
Yep.
something like that. You should have enough time to get it back. Alright. Also, I'm sorry for taking up a little bit of your space in your area.
No, that's completely fine. It's not like I'm doing anything useful with the space.
Nah. I mean, what I just dropped, the green crystal that's now hiding your buildings, is a stealth field, pretty much. They can see the green crystal, but they can't see anything else first until the green crystal is destroyed. So it gives your drill a little bit of time to kill them before they get close.
Our foes are headed for us. Be ready to defend.
Our allies are being attacked.
A jolt of seismic activity rocks
Yeah,
the
that's why
surface
they
of
don't use
Thorium
the product
proper.
spray.
The lava won't be too far behind.
Alright, so we got 2.5 minutes. I'm thinking that every time we get some crystals back, it gives us a little bit of additional time.
Yeah, it gives us like 2 minutes or so, I think. Oh, perfect. Didn't mean to press the time stop one. Keep pressing the wrong buttons every so often. Yeah, perfect time to do time stop. Also, for this one, keep an eye on your aerial units. They will burn if they go over the lava sometimes.
Oh, roger that. It's a little bit of an addition to it.
Yeah, just to make it a little bit more difficult.
Our allies
Alright,
Breaking news. A molten salamander, the locals call molten sal, has been drawn to the scene. It could create unimaginable chaos.
Our allies' base is under attack. Our SCV base is under attack.
alright.
Looks like the surge is
Should be just fine. That Perdition flamethrower turret that I put down near your ramp is actually paying itself off.
Yeah, it's been like calling everything over there to them.
Is under attack.
Like I've seen a couple times it just drops in the middle and all of a sudden they just run over to the turret instead.
Just as a forewarning, they are dropping banelings now.
Yeah, I saw that. We should probably get a move on over here to this one relatively quickly.
The commander's workers should collect the crystals and bring them to the stabilizer soon.
Alright, I'm going to send my attack force down there with a SCV. Try and buy us a little bit more time. So we're down to a minute.
Upgrade.
We're down to the final minute. Keep watching the feed.
Yeah, this is gonna be painful. If you can have your SCV take that first crystal right there on the edge, I'll try to come down to the south side and clear it as well.
Crystal stolen, SCV running like the SCV that it is.
The fun thing is they don't see my Dark Templars.
Unless they have an observer overhead.
They didn't. I was scared they did, but it was Corruptors.
25%, which is still 3/4 of a failure.
So it gives us a little bit of extra time every time we collect a crystal. My SCV's going back down to try and grab another one. While our forces clear this place out. We should be able to get at least 2 more.
Only signals one thing. Another lava surge is coming soon.
Hopefully that SCV doesn't cook before it gets over there.
Lava surge has come.
It does usually pause when lava comes up.
Short message from our sponsor.
Like pause the timer, just so to reiterate.
Alright. Well, we got another crystal in there, which gave us 90 seconds.
Flames spread as the molten salamander resurfaces. Will the Dominion's allies intervene, or leave this creature unchecked?
Is that a Dark Archon that you've got sitting near your pylon there?
Yep, I can spawn those in, which is nice.
Do they still have the mind control ability?
Yep.
Our allies'
Mind
base
control,
is under attack.
confusion, and then Argus Crystal, which starts with full energy.
Looks like the lava has fully
There is also for your, if you build an armory, there's upgrades you can do for your drill, as I see you're doing now. Never mind.
Yeah, I just noticed that myself, so...
I'm going
Not-
to tell you
not
about it
too
a
bad
little
over
bit
there.
I forgot about it.
Our allies' base is under attack.
Alright, I'm going to send my secondary force down to help you out while my main force is going to stay down there and try and get these last 3 crystals, buy us a little bit more time.
That's fine.
Activating time stop. Attack when you are ready.
So there's another 90 seconds for us.
It's definitely better than having 30 seconds left or so.
I have to agree with you though, this Goliath and Science Vessel combination is pretty effective.
If I use like stalkers for example, or I usually do air on this one. If I use aerial units instead of mechanical, you get to grant me repair as well, which is nice.
Allies are being attacked.
Ah, damn it. Never mind.
Alright, well hopefully the world will not explode on us just yet. We do have almost 4 minutes now.
Definitely better start. I'm gonna go grab that last crystal down there with one of my other workers that I have sitting around. Did you want to move to your secondary base? You're gonna need them with Swan.
I'm thinking very, very heavily about that. It's mostly the limitations on Vespine with Swan.
If you want, you can actually build a command center right behind, like say I do a Nexus, you could build a command center right behind it. I can just give you the geysers, and then on top of that, if you go to your main command center, you should be able to do a Vespian droid and place it on any of the Vespian geysers. It should be level 1 ability.
Vespian Harvesters are unlocked at level 5.
Oh, never mind.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build a command center up at our main base here, and then I'm going to fly it down to that second one.
That's fine. That's what I was thinking. It was level 1 ability, because I have that one, which usually what it does, it grants 2 Vespian per geyser to allies. They're like per person kind of thing.
Definitely helps out. Swan's limitation does seem to be his Vespian collection, so for anybody playing Swan, make sure you get on those Vespian geysers as quickly as possible, because your main units like the Goliath, the Siege Tank, Cyclone, and especially the Science Vessel are all Vespian eaters, so you're going to need it.
I would say, is compared to like the main 2 units that I build with Goliaths and Science Vessels, it's the Science Vessels that eat it the most. That was a mouthful to say for some reason.
You know, I love the little touches that Blizzard puts into things, like the civilians running around looking all terrified and panicked just north of your secondary base there.
Yeah, I can usually see them around, but if you look close enough, you'll see a bunch of them. But continue.
Well, it's just something small, but it's a nice little touch.
We are hearing that the lava is receding, and the race to reactivate the stabilizer is back on.
Okay, so my forces over there are dealing with a black hole that is sucking all of the Banelings, Zerglings, and all other associated bad guys in. Thank you for that.
It's nice to funnel them into a little death tunnel, right?
Never hurts. Well, unless you're the Zerg.
Easily.
Oh, just peachy. Got a wave of enemies gunning for us. The timetable says workers should be collecting crystals by now. Makes you wonder, did Valerian choose the wrong allies?
Please, Mr. Reporter Man, let's not bring up Valerian, because he's Valerian.
Base is under attack.
May not hate him as much as I hate his father, but still don't like the guy. And I have a long-standing, not handing, hatred for the Mengsk family because of what Arcturus did in the very first game. Because I'm a Ghost fanatic. But thankfully, you haven't tortured me today, Grimuldus, by playing as Nova, because that's
I was
torturous.
debating about it just for episode's sake. I'm like, Phoenix, Nova, now I'll go with the character that I have to level up.
Well, I appreciate you choosing not to torture me, which is a change from most of the people I game with. They would take every opportunity they could to torture me.
Do me a quick favor. Move your command center and do it like back here, where the probe is. You'll see why. Because if I'm collecting the crystals for it,
Yeah, I'm just going to build a couple of refineries there if that's alright.
perfectly fine.
Right now. Let's switch to lava cam 6.
I'm lagging a little bit, as you probably could tell with my scrolling.
1 minute left. One single solitary minute.
Alright, so the crystal that's just... Ooh, stop.
Yep.
All of you stop.
It looks like
I was about to dive into it as well.
surfaced. If the commanders are going to do something,
That was gonna be pretty bad.
might be the time.
Yeah, I just about ran an entire Goliath force and an SCV right into the lava.
I saw that.
As soon as that goes down, I'm going to try and grab that crystal that's just south of this base.
Yeah,
See if
I
I
was
can
gonna
buy
go
us
for
a
that
little
one
bit of
as well.
time.
As quickly as it surges,
It disappeared to the lava. There's next one's gonna be
to the workers
up this one over here.
new crystal.
Yeah, I'm sending my task force in there right now to try and grab it.
You should have a couple seconds to get your SCV in there. Those electric fields, remember the, what were they called? Corsairs from the first one. With the arc entanglement web or whatever it's called?
Oh, those are from Brood War, and Artanis flew one for a while.
Yep.
The worker will be missed as well.
For these one, damn.
My SCV got pulverized, by the way.
Workers should be
It's fine. I saw
Well,
the
it's
title,
not fine
wasn't
because
expecting-
the planet just went boom.
should collect the crystals and bring them to the stabilizer.
It's not like it's a permanent mission where like the outcomes are permanent.
True enough. And besides, the whole point is to sit back and relax and have some fun, right?
Of course.
This will surely haunt Emperor Valerian to the end of his reign.
So we had one victory, one defeat. Got to play a new character, which wasn't bad, all things considered. Well, I was bad, but the character isn't bad.
Seems like you had fun with the character.
Well, I've always liked Goliaths. They've always been a fun little unit. But with that said, that's probably a good place to end this little one-off. Chaplin Grimuldus, I can't thank you enough for coming on here. Thank you for being a part of this.
More than welcome.
So, until next time, guys, remember that life is a game. Try to play to win, unlike how we just lost. And I'll see you guys next time.